You get Liverpool with a very talented attack, no matter what we think of how they've played so far
Yeah.
this season, and he had to make choices, and obviously scoring some goals that were a little bit gifty or from distance helped them out in the situation, but they still were in control. Well, they were in control most of it in the important bits.
I looked at the first goal Liverpool conceded in this game. Like afterwards, there were commentators trying to find, what was wrong here. Oh, the winger should have got out and closed down the cross. And I was like, man, it's like a 6-on-3 in the middle that Liverpool have got.
Yep.
And Haaland manages to score and score even with a little bit of luck there. And you just think, well, if you can do that, then who cares really? Leaving Salah high is one thing if you've got guys who can find him. And actually, he did receive the ball high quite a lot in this game. Having it in that extra 5 yards of space that Trent and Allison could get him in, the loss of that is just such a problem for them. And it also kind of feels like Szoboszlai is the only guy who plays with the intensity of old Liverpool. And he's like their most important presser, and I think their most important progressive passer. It feels like this team now functions around him and Gravenberch. I'm not sure that the attack can really hold its own in the press anymore, and it's not physical enough either.
I think there are three functional problems with Liverpool. One is that they had a lot of change in the summer, and that change was pretty significant, especially in how they build up play. Two, they cannot press well. That might even be the most crucial element. Like their press is broken, and because it's so noticeable in the Premier League when teams are trying to press and they're not good, Liverpool are mid-table-ish. If their press was like 30% better, they would be one of the top two teams probably. Like they would probably be even better than City is right now, but it's not. And that might be the most crucial thing. And then the third bit is like their attack isn't fully firing, not least because I think they need to play in a different build-up style than they had before, because Trent is a different buildup than having somebody like Wirtz, who's a between the lines player. So how are you getting the ball to the between the lines players is a really crucial question. And I think the other issue there is like, maybe you could overload that right. You could have Wirtz over on the right and Szoboszlai be able to play to him more often. And then you have Salah as additional element. You haven't had Frimpong to be able to sort of cause chaos together. So much change really has caused issues, which caused a lot of things to be thrown up in the air and tactically, and they just haven't landed on a solution. But if that press were better, this would all look very different and feel like a lot easier game.
But I do think like Liverpool, I don't think they're worse as a result of this game. Like my opinion on these teams has not changed.
They have a talent dominance against a lot of teams where they'll end up pulling stuff out. Like they didn't deserve this run of losses that they had before. They were a bit up and down in the same way they didn't deserve like 5 in a row to start the season, because they were definitely not nearly good enough to have 5 in a row. But sequencing kind of matters, right? And we get caught up on sequencing.